Dear Tammy, I own a small embroidery business and would love to have my bear logo turned into a little figurine, but with a little twist. Last Christmas, I flew my boyfriend and I out to Italy as his gift. This year, I want to fly us out to South Korea. The meaning behind this figurine is that my small business is able to fund these special adventures for me and my partner, which I'm super grateful for. Can you do this? Yes. Yes, I can.
Suddenly, the world I used to know, I see it differently. You woke me from a dream, now here's reality. Baby, baby, you are really hurting me. 'Cause every time you tell me I look good in bed, I'm doing fine, but nothing ever changes. And now I see.
Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name's Tammy. I also go by Uncomfy because your girl's a little anxious. I have a small business in which I sell my art, mostly polymer clay art, and that is exactly what we are going to be doing today. I have a really fun commission to make with you guys, and I don't do commissions a lot nowadays. I think it kind of stresses me out, but this one is super sweet. I love the story that is attached to it, and that's what art making is all about, right? It's a beautiful sunny day, and I just wanted to make a very low-key sculpt and chat with me video. I'm in my baggy t-shirt, I have my coffee, so let's get sculpting. I recently got this beautiful desk mat from Studio Maggie's website. Whenever I sculpt, the colors really confuse me, and I also don't want to stain it, so I sadly have to remove this from my desk quite often. This is what we're gonna be working on today. I actually drew this in a previous video, so yeah, I'm just very excited to finally start sculpting this. I got these wooden discs from Michael's, which I honestly wouldn't recommend getting from there because they're so expensive for what they are. But I immediately thought of these when I was drawing the bear because I just think it'd be such a cute base for the figurine.
Miss Master, you know.
Well, I just want to thank you. It's always nice to get good feedback.
No problem.
See you around.
Okay. Where were you? The women's study section is over there. Yeah, I was on my way. What's wrong with you? What? You're all red and blotchy.
Save my marriage. The only thing I can do is cut Luke out, right? Right.
I could sit around and wait all day. You lay easy on my mind, like a candle I just burn away. All we really have is time. All we really have is time. I don't wanna waste it on anybody. Take it with anybody but you. I don't wanna waste it on anybody. Take it with anybody but you.
Alright, so the base of the bear is in the oven along with some other pieces. The great thing about polymer clay is that you can bake it multiple times without it cracking or burning. So that quality is really useful for big processes like this where I want to solidify parts of it before I add other parts on. Especially for this bear, I wanted the legs to stay at that length. I don't want to squish them down any further than they already have. So like I said, I'm baking it now. Tomorrow I'll finish it off with the arms and the food items. But before I get back to sculpting, I want to thank our sponsor, Skillshare. I'm sure you already know what Skillshare is, but if you don't, Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives. And I'm actually so excited for this sponsorship because I truly love what they do. They make learning new skills so much more accessible. They have classes on everything from illustration, graphic design, UX UI, animation. So whether you want to learn the basics of watercolor painting or you want to learn how to start your own business, Skillshare can help you go from beginner to pro alongside a supportive community. They also have career-focused classes for freelancing and productivity. So right now I'm taking the Notion Masterclass, Maximize Your Productivity and Organization by Ali Abdal. I've always wanted to learn how to use Notion, especially for my business, so I'm really excited about this course. The first 500 people to use the link in my description will gain access to one of Skillshare's best offers yet, 30 days free plus 40% off your first year of Skillshare membership. So yeah, definitely check that out, and once again, thank you Skillshare for supporting this channel. Friends, it's been a couple days now and I want to show you my progress. Here's everything. Obviously I've sculpted some other normal shop orders as well, but here is the bear body that is all baked. I'm pretty proud of it. This is one of my first standing figurines, and the back had some dents in it from the foil because the foil was sharp, but I just went ahead and filled that in with some clay, and once I glaze it with resin I don't think it'll be too noticeable. All there's left to do now is to add the food items, the arms, and I'm not sure if I want to add the flowers with clay or just paint them on. If I paint the flowers on, it'll be a lot easier and I can make so many more of them and make them more detailed and pretty. But if I use clay, I think it'll be much more consistent looking. So I don't know, there's pros and cons to each method. Yesterday I didn't record at all because I was so focused on learning how to make the food miniatures. I was watching YouTube videos and just experimenting on my own. So I think experimenting without the pressure of a camera is very important, but I am gonna remake them just for you guys so you can see how I made the pizza and the rice cakes. So I wanted to briefly go over the supplies for food miniatures. I use liquid Sculpey so much and it's so useful. This is white and then this is clear / transparent. I'll link these in my Amazon storefront, but you can also just get them at basically any craft store. I know Michael's and Joann's always has coupons, so you might as well get a discount when you buy these. One reason I do buy these online is because they are constantly sold out in stores, especially the clear. Clear is what you use to make things like sauces. If you're making little pies, it's gorgeous as a pie filling. I use the opaque white a lot for things like frosting and cookies and stuff like that. I've also been using these acrylic stamping blocks as little trays for my clay. So this is sort of like my new clay color palette. And then I have this small one for sculpting on top of, because I used to sculpt, well, I still sculpt on these like plastic jars a lot because I don't care about them. I can scratch them all I want. But these clear acrylic stamping blocks are just a lot more aesthetic. So they're really nice for filming. I think the jars are way more ergonomic. So if you have carpal tunnel or arthritis, I would suggest sculpting on something that's much easier to grab, but these are nice for photos and making videos. So for the pizza, I have this really light beige color that I mixed, as well as a really pale yellow. It's mostly white and a little bit of yellow in it. And I also mixed some brown with red to make this pepperoni color. Also, all credit goes to these OG YouTubers. I basically just followed their tutorials to a T, and now I'm relaying their information for you. Since I'm making just a slice of pizza, I'm gonna start off with a triangle shape. And then I'm gonna fold over this edge to make the crust. Like so, like that. And then with my handy dandy chalk pastels, I'm gonna pick out the orange, brown, and yellow. I'm gonna mix them all together. And I'm gonna use mostly orange to make the toasty look, just using a crappy paintbrush. And I'm gonna shade the crust of the pizza. So now we have our crust, and I'm gonna take my offset spatula to scrape it off so I can make the cheese. For the cheese, we're gonna use that really pale yellow and make a triangle shape as well. And this does not have to be perfect at all. If you have a broad ballpoint tool, you can use that, but I'm just using the end of a paintbrush here. And I'm gonna add some texture to the cheese. The cool thing about food miniatures is that you would think that you have to be super precise, but you really don't, because it's just food, you know? As long as the texture and the color is okay, then it'll look like food. Just lay the cheese on there, and if it overlaps the crust, that's even better. I'm gonna add some more texture and make it look a little more drippy. I'm gonna take the pepperoni and just cut up a ton of small, tiny bits. Place each one on the pizza and use the ballpoint tool at the same time to texture them. And this is just gonna be a basic pepperoni pizza like the one that was in my sketch, but I think it'd look so cool if you added like basil or olives or onions. Okay, here is our pizza so far. It looks good, but I don't think it looks that realistic. So this is where the magic happens with the liquid Sculpey. I am gonna take some of the cheese color that we made, and I'm gonna pour in some of the white liquid Sculpey and mix them up. And you want it to be sort of thin to make it look like it's like melted cheese. So having an offset spatula is so useful for this step. And now I'm gonna use the ballpoint tool to pick some up and place it on our pizza. And you can be sort of messy with this. Just use it to cover some of the pepperonis, maybe. Now it looks like this. And now with our leftover pastels that we used to make the crust, we are gonna mix it in with the transparent liquid Sculpey. And this color is gonna make the greasy part of the pizza, because when you get pizza, it's often a little bit greasy, and this is what's gonna really sell the realism of the miniature pizza. So because this is the clear, it won't end up like this color. After it's baked, it's gonna be a lot more translucent. And same thing here, we're just gonna dab on that grease intermittently. Mix it in with the cheese and the pepperonis. And you can go back and forth between adding the grease and the cheese. Now for some finishing touches, I'm gonna just texture the crust a bit. And here is our pizza. It's literally the size of my finger.
You're a noticeable drop-off in enthusiasm. Is that a reflection of the fact that you're less impressed by my...
Hello. It's been a few days and I'm just adding some finishing touches now. I went ahead and pre-baked the pizza and the rice cakes, so they are fully baked, but the arms are soft because I just added them on. I didn't film much at all yesterday because I went to ceramics, so I find that with polymer clay I have quite a high stamina, but when I try new mediums like ceramics or painting or drawing, it really tires me out. I'm using so much brain power. But yeah, I decided to add the flowers with clay because even though I can only make really simple flowers, I love the look of a 100% polymer clay piece. I don't know, I just feel more proud of myself whenever I make something completely out of clay. No painting involved, just all the work done during the sculpting phase. I'm not even done yet, but I'm already super proud of this piece. I already made these 3 big flowers here, so now I'm gonna do tiny flowers in between, bake it again, glue it onto the platform, glaze it, and then I'll finally be done. I think it's supposed to snow tomorrow, so that makes me a little sad that I won't be able to get a very sunny finished product shot for you guys, but this will have to do.
Rusty red on her shoulder, I was cleaning her shoe. when it clicked on the trot over in the bright morning dew. We brushed and we braided dandelions